All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakak Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for you, Akim, pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. All right, I'm going to actually start out with this here, a couple precepts first real quick. This is in the book of Revelation. All right, Revelation chapter 11, or chapter 19, verse 11. Revelation chapter 9 or verse 10. Revelation 19 and verse 10. It says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See that thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushua. Worship the Most High, for the testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy." All right, let me grab one more. Second Esdras 15 and 1. "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. And fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." All right, and so as we pretty much open up every week with telling you the importance of what? Prophecy, man. All right, prophecy. You got some that are out there preaching for envy and strife, trying to get back at folks here and there. But guess what's going on behind all these scenes, man? Prophecy is taking place, man. All right, so hey, this is what we're gonna keep our main focus on, is on prophecy, man. Because there's other precepts, quoting one: "Measure the times diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs come to pass, all right, then thou shalt know that the Most High spake about those things that was from the beginning of the times, man." Now he's about to visit the earth, you know, roughly paraphrasing those verses, man. But nevertheless, the important part of all these things, and measuring the time diligently, knowing where you are to be able to keep you hot and keep the faith inside of you, man, is understanding prophecy. All right, right about now, you know, Lord's will, we'll get into it this week. But hey, I wanted to speak on this last week, but you know, the Lord had me speak on other things. All right, and then lo and behold, you know, more information came out, man. So hey, you know, we move how the Spirit moves, and we move where the Spirit moves us to move, man. All right, but ultimately, you know, you have things that's going on as of right about now, man. And what you have going on, matter of fact, let me read this precept first. This is Ezekiel. Well, there's a couple precepts in here I want to grab, but I want to just try to quickly get through these. Ezekiel 3 and verse 17, it says, "Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me." All right. And so, hey, this is what, you know, what the Lord has set up the prophets to do, to warn the children of Israel, to give them these prophecies, give them these warnings. Hey, you're going to see these things, i.e. the MOTB, right? Now you're seeing so much talk about this. Everybody's talking about this now, man. There's a point in time, hey, we're going back to what we just read a little earlier. "Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee, which speak against thee," man. So think about how long we've been out here talking about, you know, the MOTB, going into the chip. You had other camps scoffing. "It's June, it ain't no chip. It ain't this, it ain't that. It's Christianity. It's sleeping with the so-called white woman." All these different debates, man. You know, you had it known, you know, not being a part of GMS, but you had a saying that was out there that was saying, "Oh, all you guys at GMS only talk about the MOTB being a microchip. That's all you guys talk about." But lo and behold, now look what's going on now. All right, on the mainstream media, that's what they're talking about out there now, man. All right, they're putting these things out. This is on your mainstream media news, not your alternative media news, but your mainstream media news that are telling you about these things like that, man. Is this what this is? Sounds like from the book of Revelation. Sounds like these are the same people that's pushing off this Pride Month, telling you there ain't no God. You can be all walking abominations if you want. Now all of a sudden this topic come up. Oh, that sounds like the book of Revelations, man. Hey, the writing is on the wall. The prophets that told you about these things. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry, man. All right, well, the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So now you even have our enemies agreeing with us, man. The same things and the same topics they used to take our videos down for speaking on is now what's in the mainstream media news. All right, this is why we have to use acronyms like MOTB, all right, and things like that, because they'll want to take down our videos by speaking on these certain things, man. Because it kind of hits close to home, man. If we was telling you the mark of the beast was a goddamn Pikachu or Pokemon, they would leave that shit up, man. In fact, they would probably promote that video because it's just leading you astray. But because we tell you the truth, the scripture say, "Have I become thy enemy because I tell you the truth?" All right, and you know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. All right, free from what? The bondage of this here monster. Hey, ultimately from catching the missile, man. Because if you don't tell your congregation about these things, I heard something throughout the week. I wanted to speak on it, but nevertheless, was talking about this. How they call it? Pre-tribulation rapture scenario and everything else like that, and some of the fallacies in their doctrine. All right, most of these Christians, they believe that shit, right? This, what they taught and talk about, right? And my mindset was the fact of the matter of, like just like with all you got to do is believe in Jesus or confess Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and you're gonna be saved. And I'd be like, well, that's the same thing as Crowley Christianity, man. Do thou wilt, just please your damn self. And whenever you're on your deathbed, just say, all right, Jesus, I give my soul over to you, and you're gonna feel better about yourself, man. That's just, how do I say, it's a cognitive dissonance of it's like putting the wool over somebody's eyes to make them sin. All right, somebody that's about to go and steal with a bunch of cameras around and everything, that's looking at them like, you know what, nah, all eyes is on me. I don't really want to steal right now. But if somebody was like, bro, there ain't nobody around, bro. We out in the middle of the damn desert, man. It ain't shit from miles and miles and miles away, and all of a sudden you just seen a briefcase with a stack of $100 bills in that bitch. You be like, you know what? I'm finna grab this bitch. Ain't nobody around, man. That's what it will put you in the mindset of, and then these people out here just sinning willy-nilly. Oh, all I gotta do is repent and say, Jesus is my Lord and Savior, and I'm good. I can go out here and commit all these here crimes, then go to jail and so-called quote-unquote give my life over to Jesus, and then I'm good. Right? It's the same thing as with this pre-rapture tribulation. All right, going into that, not getting too far off topic with that subject, but hey, they talk about with these things bringing it back to the MOTB, right? One of the things that was brought out in this little thing I was watching, right, was, hey, if you convince your congregation that they're going to be raptured before any of this here tribulation, then what happens? Well, they didn't say this part, but this is what I was thinking about. It's like, well, they think that before any of this here tribulation, all these things come, because Revelation speak about let me just read it real quick. Not getting too far off topic, but hey, we're gonna go where the Spirit lead us. Revelation 3 and 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will keep thee. I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So there's going to be an hour of great temptation that's going to come and try to all the people that's on the earth, right? Which we know of, you're not going to be able to buy or sell, save he that have the mark, right? Now, put this in the context with these so-called Christians out here and this pre-rapture tribulation. Oh, you can skip that part. You don't have to teach us about that, Pastor. We're not going to be here when that great tribulation comes because, hey, the church is going to be gone. The church is going to be raptured up out of here before any of these tribulations come. So don't worry about it. Just live your life. You don't even need to teach us what the mark of the beast is. We don't need to know about it. We're not going to be here when it comes around. So how are we going to take it if we're going to already be raptured up out of here? Here's these fallacies of these things, man. All right, so hey, just look at, for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, if you grew up like how I grew up, right? Most of us grew up in Christianity and churches and things like that. And we all heard our parents and grandparents say these things. Well, look, I don't know about that, but I know this. That's not happening in my lifetime. That's going to probably be in your lifetime, your kids, grandkids' life. It's not going to happen in my lifetime, so I don't really need to know about it, right? People who think about things like, or who put things in this here perspective, they just kick the can down the road. It's like, hey, man, I'm running up my credit card and my debt now, but I'm on my deathbed. I'm about to be out here in 3 months anyway, so I ain't got to pay for this shit. I don't really give a damn, right? But nevertheless, hey, when you have a mindset like that, you don't, give it to you this way. If you were told from the beginning, right? All right, look, you guaranteed to make it, and you guaranteed not to make it. How would people really be acting out here in the world, man? The people that was guaranteed not to make it, they would just turn up, well, fuck it, I'm going to be wicked, it's all outdoors, and I ain't making it no way, right? Now, the people that so-called, or the people that was slated to make it, fuck, I'm going to go out there and go teaching for it. Well, I'm going to go do this, well, I'm going to go do that. I'm already making it, I already made the cut, so I can just go ahead and do whatever I want to go and do, right? It's like a guy that's out there that's training for something, man. Football, let's say you trying out for football practice. Or you ain't gonna make it. We're gonna tell you ain't gonna make it, and we're gonna tell you that you gonna make it. The guy that was told that he's not gonna make it, even though he's not gonna make it, he can still go out there, give it his all, and fuck up a little bit, and then they tell him, hey, this is where you fucked up at, or this is where you need to improve it. And guess what? Next season he come back and he the #1 draft pick, man. He a beast on the field, man. But the other guy that you told, hey, he gonna guarantee make it because he's so on and so forth, man. Yeah, he ain't even got to try out or practice or well, we just gonna put him on the team, right? Now he's all showing up late to practice. Not coming to practice. Oh, bro, I'm starting anyway, bro. I don't even need to go to practice, bro. I don't even know. Hey, coach ain't going to take me out of the game. Who else he going to have as a quarterback, bro? He got to put me in the game, man. So, I mean, at this point in time, you diminish the, not to say the efforts of these guys being put forward because they already know the outcome, man. So, just slightly, veering off, talking about that pre-rapture tribulation scenario, going and pairing that with the MOTB, right? Going back into prophesying to our people and telling them the truth about these things, so they're not caught off guard, right? They're not caught like a thief in the night, man. They're not caught with all this here deception, man. Matter of fact, let me grab that precept real quick. Oh, just passed it. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Least Satan should get an advantage of us. We're not ignorant of his devices. And now, going back into, the subject I want to talk in on, it's actually two of them, but, we'll go with the chariots for the time being. All right, hey, also the chip, man. All right, we can briefly talk about the chip. All right, but, we understand that you see all this here stuff is being pushed and promoted for a certain time. Matter of fact, let me read that, because that precept goes into that. Even though I quoted it. All right. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3, and of course it's ripped out of here. I done read this so much. Habakkuk 2 and 3, it says, "For yet the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will not tarry, or it will come, it will not tarry." All right, and so going into these things, man, you have the MOTB that's on the news right about now, as we were speaking about, man. They're pushing this here narrative out. Oh, they've tested it on monkeys. Elon Musk got the approval from the FDA. They're going to start trialing this is some patients, some patients that are about to die anyway. What do they have to lose? If anything, they just wind up dying like they're going to die anyway. But what happens if we can improve in them? What happens if we can do this? And what happens if we can do this? See, this is like the scriptures speak about, about these false miracles that Esau will be coming with, man. All right, this is the same man. It's hey, he's again speaking about certain of these Christian doctrines, the so-called Antichrist, man. You have people that still out here arguing. Again, this is the fallacy, this mindset about not understanding the prophecies and not what. This is the most important shit that's out there, man. Not to say shit, but the most important stuff that's out there, man. You have some of these damn Christians just trying to argue with us about what the hell is going on. Oh, we're not in that time right now. We still there has to be an Antichrist. There's gonna be one guy that's gonna come over and take over government, and he's gonna do all these different things, and he's gonna have the false prophet and everything. Like, motherfucker, the false prophet then came and ran his course. You don't really have too many motherfuckers going to no church and shit like that, that's going to those Catholic churches and things like that. You have to understand how these systems was paired together, man. That led us all up to this here point in time. Now, from that system that they had, when they say now they have to separate church and state. Before, they started out with the damn church, man. All right, but now you have just so-called rulership by the quote-unquote by the state, right? And they so-called get rid of religion. But now you got these Edomites. It's not just one person, all right? It's them as a whole. Look at the system. I'd say it this way. Now, in our let's just keep it simple. With our elections and our presidencies and shit like that, you have, I know there's more than two sides, but just to keep it simple, you have two sides, the Democrats and the Republicans, right? You got two different sides. Now, keep it simple. One side is on one side, and the other side is on the other side, so they don't quite agree. One of them drink Coke, the other one drink Pepsi. You know what I'm saying? But now, or one drink Coke and one drink Sprite. We'll put it that way, right? Now, you talking about some, oh, I like Coke better than I like Pepsi. Oh, Coke suck, Pepsi suck. Or Coke sucks, Sprite sucks. Like, nigga, they both made by the same company, right? They're just a different flavor. It's the same company, same soda. Or give you a different, a Tahoe and a Suburban. Like, nigga, it's the same goddamn truck. Or Tahoe and a GMC Yukon, right? It's the same truck, right? Same company, same truck, just a little different logo and everything else like that. How can you say, oh, these trucks are trash, but you got the same damn truck with a different badge on it? It's like, nigga, it's the same shit, right? Now, look at the presidents. You got them, again, they're slated to be two different groups. But look at their, their policies and the things that they wind up doing. All right? Now, their policies may go a little to the left, may go a little to the right. But when you look at it from a long-term perspective, it's all running the same course. All right? Give me 1 second. All right. It's all running the same course, man. It's just like watching, the stock market and things like that, man. You can see certain stocks, like you may look at it in the day chart. The stock may be tanking, right? That's just 24 hours, all right? Maybe in a week it's still down or something like that. But then when you look at the month, it might have spiked up, right? 3 or 4 months, it might have been back down. But then when you look at 5 years or the all-time of it, this stock is steadily going up. But if you're just looking at it at a stock for the day-to-day, and you like, man, this stock can drop 30%, You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, his job 30% of the day, like, comparably to whatever it was, that's not that much money comparably to you being up, let's say 5 or 10% in a year or something like that. Like, well, yeah, it dropped, but it goes back up, but it's on a constant a scale going up. All right, you know, you look at the stock market as a whole, it's not a straight line going up. It's up, down, but it's trending upwards, man. So it's all going in the same direction, just like these presidents. That's how, you know, if you was to, instead of looking at a chart going this way, if you was to look at it from the front, like it's going to the left and to the right, instead of going up and down, look at it going left and right. It's still going straight in the goddamn line, man. All right, the stock market little, those little, you know, trending charts, they all going straight forward, man. All right, you know, it goes up, down, up a little bit, goes down a little bit, but they still going straight forward, man. Same thing with these here presidents, man. They all have the same agenda, basically, man. They all bringing us all to the same fulfillment of raising up Edomite supremacy and taking Jacob out of here, man. Even Barack Obama, man. All right, so when you look at it from that perspective, hey, man, this is the Antichrist been ruling the whole goddamn time. Look at what they did to the whole earth, man. Look at the policies and the procedures that they push on the earth. So you got your boy Bush was a Republican, right? He went over to the Middle East and destroyed all the goddamn Middle East, right? And then you had Obama came after him, was a Democrat. He continued on with the same path and then continued on fucking up the Middle East, man. But they were supposedly two different people, man. Barack Obama came in on change. Yeah, we finally getting some change. We finally getting something different. But now, this nigga's doing the same damn thing, man. We're not ignorant to these devices of how this here stuff work, man. This is why we don't put our trust and our faith into these here systems, because this is a deceptive system to begin with, man. All right, it's against the Most High and all the things that it's doing, man. All right, pushing out the community's agenda and things like that on the earth, man. All right, hey, you see, though, say, let's say you have a president like Barack Obama, give them all these rights and everything. Then you got somebody like Trump to say, oh, no, I'm against all this. But then all of a sudden, he didn't, like, drastically change no laws for those things like that, man. We'll have to work on something more important than that. Climate change is a little bit more important than that right now. We'll wait to the second term to address that. But then they never address it, man. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all told us when you was in office you was gonna fix this. Now you out of office, you didn't even touch all that. But just have faith. You gotta go down there and vote again. Go down there and vote. Man, hey, look, we're not ignorant to Satan's devices. All that voting and all that bullshit. This is an Edomite kingdom, man. All right, they're going for the how do I say, like the scriptures say, their inward thoughts is that their habitation is gonna last forever. Roughly paraphrasing. But they want to keep ruling their kingdom, man. No matter how they have to go and do these things, man. You have to understand the game plan of these folks, man. Only Jake is super proud of, like, yeah, this is my shit with my name on it, blah, blah, blah. But a lot of these Edomites, they do things, they don't even have their names on it, so that they can, with that secrecy, they can last a lot longer, man. All right, like, for instance, in businesses and things like that, man, yeah, you can go get a business and name the business after you and everything else like that. But then you got some folks, prime example, you and this here Truth, right? Somebody don't like you and they find out your real information. Now they go over there and call up your job or your business and fuck up your business because they know what your name is on there. Or let's say you're a celebrity, right, and you go buy a house and you put your house in your name. All they got to do is go on the internet and public records, look up your name. Now they got your address. What people like that do, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a business and you kind of smart about it. You don't want everything going back to your home address and all these different things. You obviously don't put it in your name to begin with, right? And houses and celebrities and stuff like that. What they'll do is they'll create a business, an LLC or some shit like that, and have a name. So, like, for instance, instead of, let's say your name was Dwight Eisenhower, right? The president's name. If your name was Dwight Eisenhower, you wouldn't say Dwight Eisenhower LLC. You wouldn't say Dwight Eisenhower Housing or Cars or whatever. Nah, you probably have some shit that's like I don't know, Red Brick Inn, right? Red Brick Road LLC. Don't nobody know what the fuck that is. It ain't got no descriptive name of who you are, right? Oh, who owned that house over there? Red Brick LLC or something like that. Blue Tarp. I was gonna say Blue Cross Blue Shield, but whatever you want to name it, Nature's Way or some shit like that, right? You put the business name into that shit like that, and you can conceal it. So, hey, now you a celebrity, somebody want to try to sue you, they look up what you got, and be like, well, you as Dwight Eisenhower, you don't own a goddamn thing. You may got $10 in your pocket, right? But you own the controlling stock of this here company, or you're in control of the stock of this here company that's hidden up under other companies. They'll never be able to find that shit, man. All right? So the same way, the presidents, or not the presidents, these Edomites continue on their rulership, they'll give you these different people and have them, so put it this way, like the Rothschilds and all them, you don't know nothing that's owned by the goddamn Rothschilds under that name like that, man. Now they have other things, like you can go into Vanguard, right? But see, if you don't know no better, you just, Vanguard is Vanguard. You know what I'm saying? BlackRock is BlackRock. You wouldn't know no better. And even with, what is it? Both of them actually. I think that they got somebody else that's so-called the owner or the founder of those companies. So it's still not even in their names, man. All right. So, but nevertheless, hey, we're not ignorant to these here devices, man. We understand even with however you want to have your different parties and your different presidents and them doing these different things like that. We know it's one agenda that they're pushing forth, man. This Edomite agenda, man. All right, this Antichrist, and we're gonna use that term, this Antichrist agenda, man. Everything that they're pushing and promoting is against the law, statutes, commandments, man. All right, so hey, these so-called Christians are waiting on one particular guy to come up out of the ground. Now, when we put up the like, hey, it's the white man. All right, look at him and his rulership and all. Oh no, it can't be that. It's this, and that. They didn't do all this, yeah. But you look at it from your perspective. Look at it from the rest of the earth. Let me read this precept real quick. See, we didn't kind of went a little down another path, but hey, we're gonna let the spirit flow. This is Isaiah chapter 14, right? Because you bring this out to these goddamn Americans, and they'll never look at themselves as the wicked. Like, bro, we the wicked, bro. Isaiah 14 and I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, "Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how has the oppressor ceased?" Right? I don't know. Let me get this in my phone real quick because this is just too much. All right, this is too much. This is too simple. But again, like the scriptures say, all right, Isaiah 14. Hey, but as the scripture say, blessed are your eyes will see the things that you see. All right, and also on the flip side, they can't get it because they were blinded, man. All right, and the wicked ain't gonna get this shit either. But it's clear and it's obvious, man. All right, Isaiah 14 and let's go back to 4. All right, here we go. Damn. I wonder if that's where they got that word from. So this here, let me see if it'll say it.
Strong's H 5065. Nagas. Nagas.
Niggas. Probably, hey, it's probably, I don't know if that's where that word come from, but nagas means the oppressor, right? Them niggas is oppressing us, right? The nagas, right? It says to press, to drive, to oppress, to extract, to exert, demanding pressure, to press, to drive, taskmaster, ruler, tyrant, lord, exactor of tribute, to be hard pressed, right? Nagas, primitive root to drive, an animal, hold on. Workman, a debtor, an army, implication tax, harass, tyrannicide, distress, deliver, exact, raiser of taxes, oppressor. So, hey, that's the word for oppressor. How is the oppressor ceased? All right, now going into these things, like I was saying, you tell this to these Americans out here about this being an antichrist system that you living in already. Hey, you waiting on the nigga. These niggas been here, man. Oh, no, what are you talking about? This guy, what we talking about, he gonna come and oppress the whole earth. Take a step out of America and you go look at these other countries and ask yourself, why do these other countries hate America? And you can't use the example of, oh, because they're jealous, we have freedom and they don't. Every country on the face of the earth got freedom. Now, they got different things that they can and can't do, but that's relative off of their, relative off of their, not to say their customs, but how they get down, basically. Like, for instance, here in America, you got to be, 21 to drink here in America? All right, now, in some places, I believe in Europe, you could be like 14 and go drink over there, right? In certain places, the drinking age is a little different, but that's, they still have laws over there. They still have freedom. Oh, they're oppressed because they can't drink at 14. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, hey, you do what you do. But then they'll bring up the how you call it, the Middle Eastern countries where the women is all covered up and everything. But like, bro, they not being oppressed over there. Like, they look at y'all like y'all think that y'all are not oppressed. You know what I'm saying? You're so-called got all these freedoms as a woman here in America. But guess what? You're not oppressed. You are depressed. Those women over there, you may say that they're oppressed, but guess what? They're not depressed about it. That's the difference that you're not seeing and realizing, man. They're happy with their families, their children, and everything else. They're not stressed out. You don't got them Arabs, man, over there stressing out about some goddamn child support. Fuck, man. My bitch is taking me to court for this goddamn child support. She's taking my oil field and my camel and shit, man. What the fuck? You don't hear them stories like that going on over there, man. You don't hear none of that shit going on over there. So, nevertheless, these countries hate you because of what you've done to their countries, man. Go look at Cuba while they still driving around in 1950 vehicles, man. They got sanctions on them like that, man. I had this conversation with somebody the other day about Mexico. Oh, they over there corrupt. They doing this and they doing that. I'm like, well, there's a difference between the population and the government. It's the same with Ukraine. You can have an Edomite pawn, all right, taking over these here places and things like that and represent that country on a large scale. I gave them the examples like, all right, look, we understand what the government of Ukraine is doing, like what Vladimir Zelensky is doing, but you go and ask them people that's living, the Ukrainian citizens, if they really about that life, if they really want that war, or if you ask Zelensky, hey, y'all want to give up the war, y'all want to just like have a peace talk and just hey say fuck it, my bad, we all right, no harm, no foul. He say, nah, we gonna fight till the last Russian is alive. You ask the Ukrainian people about that shit, guarantee you they be like, look, bro, we don't even want to fight no goddamn war with these niggas over here, man. We ain't even tripping like that. Same thing like America and China and Russia, man. You go and you ask the American government how they feel about China and Russia. They be like, bro, we probably finna go to war with them and Iran. Yeah, we gonna go to war with them. Yeah, we got plans and contentions for that. You go ask the American population what they think about Iran, what they think about China, what they think about Russia, if they willing to go to war with them. Guarantee you 99% of these Americans say, hell no, we don't want to go to war with them. Now, you might have some dumb nigga jakes that's out there like, yeah, we got the firepower, but people who know and understand the real logistics like, bro, we can't afford to go to war with them. We've been at war for like the last 20, 30 fucking years, man. Banker like this. Why you think we got hyperinflation where we at now? Trillions of dollars that we in debt right now for this here military-industrial complex, for one. Two, it's a lose-lose situation. We went and blew up all the fucking Middle East, took all the... Wait. The American military and government blew up all the Middle East, all right, and took over all the oil fields and everything else like that. And guess what? Since that time happened, our gas prices went up, came down a little bit, but went up, came down a little bit, but went up. It never just went the fuck down. We don't have like 50 cents worth of gas. We went over there and this is what I'm trying to show you, the separation between the American government and the American population. We, as the American population, didn't receive no benefits from that goddamn war. If anything, we just sacrificed our sons, our daughters, and our own lives going over there, blowing some shit up. You know what I'm saying? That we, the American population, didn't get the benefit off of. So if you was to ask we, the people, if we want to go back over there, they would be like, hell no. What's the point? Y'all getting the money. Halliburton and KBR's getting the benefits off of that. We don't get the benefits off of that, but we have to sacrifice for that. So, hey, man, you go and you ask these other nations why they don't like America. Like, look at what you did to our countries, man. All right, so, hey, this is the reason they don't like them. But to them, they look at you as a fucking a devil, man, the Satan, man. Hey, you came over here, you bankrupted our nation, overthrew our governments, causing wars. And them Ukrainian people know, they're like, look, there was a maiden coup, right? Oh, y'all overthrew our government. Y'all hijacked our nation. Now y'all got us in a goddamn war where we getting blown to smithereens and back, right? That's why they hate your ass, man, because you're a demonic-ass system, man. But like the scriptures say here, we're going to come back to this precept, but let me read this precept here and going back to 2 Corinthians. Come on now. Put this down real quick. Okay, what am I looking for? 11. Well, it's 11. Yep. 2 Corinthians 11 and 13. Well, let me just, we can start at 13. 2 Corinthians 11 and 13, it says, For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Hamashiach. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. And so, hey, well, let me read the next verse too. It says, Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. So, hey, going into this here scenario, man, all right, the devil has transformed himself into an angel of light. He's pretending to be the good guy out here, man, but he's yet and still deceiving you out here. So you, as an American living here in America, looking at your you know, the things that's going on, you're not looking at them as they deceiving you and everything else like that. So, for instance, I'll give you another example. You go to church, and Christian church and everything else like that. You learn about the Christian doctrines and everything else like that. Now, especially with so-called black folks, you look at your pastor. Pastor don't ever be wrong. Don't talk about my pastor like that. But guess what? Your pastor ain't never told you was a goddamn Israelite. Never once told you about that. So in a sense, he lying to you, right? But now, if you talk about them Arabs, the Muslims and stuff, when they be in their little mosque and everything else like that, oh, I don't want to listen to them. They lying, they lying. You quick to say that they lying, even though that we don't follow them or nothing like that. But you quick to say that they're lying, but you can't even go and inspect what your guy's saying. You're blinded by you can see the flaws in everybody else, but when looking at your own self or your own teacher at that point in time, you ignore all the facts, right? So no, my pastor wouldn't lie to me. My pastor would just, well, he ain't told you were Israelite. So if he ain't told you the importance of what you really reading in the Bible, you might as well be akin to this shit. So knowing the truth, right, and following after the truth. Really, if it's either you being the truth or you could be let's say a Buddhist or a Muslim. Like, it don't matter which one of them religions you choose. Like, they both wrong. So either way, you're in the same boat. Both of that shit is gonna have you fucked up out there, man. But hey, the same thing that's going on here is a nation, man. The majority of these Americans walking around never look at how how wicked this here nation is. We get it all the time. Y'all just racist. Y'all hate this place. Y'all this and y'all. No, we just looking at this with a sober mind. Yeah, you done went over to the whole Middle East for the last 20 years and blown some shit up. You done went to all these different nations and took all their resources. You with NATO, y'all over there surrounding Russia right now, got them building up their nuclear arsenal, about to get us all fucked up over here. I mean, that's all prophecy, that's got to be fulfilled. But from that perspective, like, bro, we wouldn't be having these threats. We wouldn't be in nobody's nuclear goddamn target frame if it wasn't for what the hell they got going on. Remember, they the ones overthrew a government that's on the border of Russia and started putting their weapons over there. It wasn't Russia that overthrew the government of Mexico and started putting their weapons in Mexico. It's the other way around. But nevertheless, this is what they got going on. And then putting sanctions on Russia just created a whole other monetary system, which is going to make yours obsolete, which is going to drive up the inflation over where we at and devalue our own money that we got going on over here. But again, hey, this is the spirit of prophecy, man. Yahweh shot the spirit of prophecy because it's going to bring in what? The MOTB. As the scriptures say, hey, there's going to be, let's read it. Let's just read it. We got time. Matthew 24 and verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation. See, we kind of touched on this a little earlier in Revelation 3. All right, that great temptation is coming upon the earth, right? Then there's going to be great tribulation. You think it's bad out here now. And in reality, things are bad out here right now. But people still have their poisons that they can touch. You know what I'm saying? That they don't make it seem so bad for them, right? You can still freely buy, your alcohol, your tobacco products, your drugs. Man, it was funny. I was in a store the other day, and I had asked the people how much cigarettes cost now. Remember the last time I did this, it was like $6-7. Now they saying cigarettes is like $10. I'm like, thinking of it from a business perspective, I'm like, yeah, so more people stressed out, more people buying this shit. And people ain't got the money, but now they over here buying $10 packs of goddamn cigarettes. Let's just say a 5-day work week. You smoke one pack, that's $50 a goddamn week on just that. On 5 packs, that's a lot of goddamn money. You can't even go buy groceries, man. What can you get for $50 at the grocery store? Like when you're gonna go buy some groceries, you can go buy one thing for that, but you can't go grocery shopping for the week or whatever and spend less than $50, man. You see what I'm saying? Well, you can on some bullshit food, but I'm saying on some actual food, man. But nevertheless, hey, you don't see all these things that's going on around you, man. All the cause and effects of all these different things, but you think it's still good, right? You can't afford your house, they say your mortgage payment. All right, mortgages are way up and above what the fuck the values of these houses are. Some of them are damn near doubled, right? Car prices are sky high right now, man. All right, and like, bro, like, I seen somebody with one of these new Corvettes that's coming out, the C8s. That shit was like, I was looking at the price, or I was looking at it, I was like, yeah, that shit's probably gonna be sitting around 120, 150 or something like that. And the dude was like, I said it was like $120,000. Like, I think that shit's probably gonna be $120K. He showed me the sticker price. He was like, I think maybe $150K. But he was like, yeah, this is the sticker price, but it's $100,000 more than that. And I'm like, what in the fuck? Like, this is the suggested price is 100 and whatever, and then they selling it for 200,000. I'm like, you see what I'm saying? But hey, people don't realize what the hell's going on out here, man. You think that these things are getting more and more and more expensive. It's just, no, your dollar's getting more and more devalued. And you don't understand these things is going on. And all the people that's creating these scenarios are your so-called trusted leaders that you bow down and you worship, man. Like I said, the reason you can't afford anything right about now is because your own leaders decided that they was going to put sanctions, economic sanctions on Russia, which caused them and their own allies to do deals in a different currency, which now everybody's dumping the American dollar, which is devaluing your dollar. So it wasn't that the other countries decided to come and make a economic attack on America. Wasn't that Russia was hacking in on the elections? Look. Where they blame that nigga Trump for rigging the elections with Russia, right? Now you got Biden in office with this shit, but it was Biden them that started moving in on goddamn Russia with the Ukrainian scenario that fucked up all the money. So the nigga y'all claim that was in bed with them ain't the nigga who got you fucked up with the Russians right now. Which I ain't for neither one of them, but I'm just showing you how far you talking about this Antichrist system and how you'll never really, wipe the glass and really look at what's going on behind these things. Like, well, these niggas is all wicked, man. This is why we don't vote about this shit. They're like, oh, it's the lesser two evils. They both Edomites, dog. They got the same goddamn agenda. That's just like when we get in the kingdom of heaven, you be like, well, is this Israelite versus that Israelite? Like, well, bro, they both Israelites, bro. They gonna keep going for what they for they people, man. You know what I'm saying? They gonna always stick together for what they got going on. Just like the Amalekites, man. That's one thing that they got that I will say that is very admirable about them. They might not fuck with one another, but whenever it come to shove, one of their peoples get put on blast, they all banding with them. Like, whatever his name is, Rabboni or whatever. He don't fuck with Epstein over here, but then Weinstein over here, and they get into some trouble. Guess what? They all banding together. They gonna, hey, we together now. We gonna put our differences aside. We not finna, nah, I'm jumping on your bandwagon, bruh. That's what they do. But with our people, we cut ourselves down. But nevertheless, hey, man, all this stuff that we've been fed, as far as the propaganda, the lies, hey, matter of fact, even physically fed. You find all this plastics and stuff in your food, all this forever chemicals in your water systems and things like that. Who do you think is putting all this stuff in there, man? All right, this is the matter of fact. Let's go ahead and read that. This is funny because this is actually a topic that's going on right about now as well. I didn't even finish this Matthew 24, but go to the 2 Thessalonians. But we're not even going to entertain that foolishness that they talking about because we know the truth here, man. And if you want to argue about some stupid shit like that, I don't know what the hell you doing, man. You seeing the Israelites as the issue here. You may not agree with them on these certain things, but you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you know what I mean? Hey, there is a sense of some of these things because you do have some of these quote-unquote people that claim to be Israelites telling you about certain things, but they lying to you about stuff. Like, you're supposed to be our brother. So in that sense, they are being more wicked than the Edomites because the Edomites is built to be wicked. They supposed to be torturing and tormenting us. But you claiming to be a man of the Lord and you leading the people astray, you actually worse than this wicked-ass nigga over here. But nevertheless, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, right? So this is, talking about, 70 AD. We had that falling away first. But then you had the son of perdition, which we'll get into. The whole time, we just read how he was transformed to an angel of light, right? How everybody's looking at him as so-called righteous, doing the right thing, being the golden city, and all these things. They look up to him. We want to come to America. If they was telling you, like, bro, this is the most wicked-ass kingdom there is on the earth, this is where the devil live at. When they was talking to these other nations and things, these other people in these other nations, you think that they would be sitting over trying to swim 90 miles to get over to hell? Like, bro, you see, they tell them, oh, it's streets paved to gold, it's freedom, it's the heaven on earth. Yeah, and it seems like that in certain circumstances, from a certain eye. You look at it from a certain perspective. I've been in places where being Americanized and things like that and seeing the so-called richness of America and things like that, you go to certain places like, let's say, Mexico or something like that, and you riding down the streets and things like that, like, damn, these are some little busted-ass little houses and shit. A busted-ass, they got all kind of fuck shit going on here comparably to America. But then you see the looks on these people's faces, and you're like, look, man, they don't have the same kind of stress and things that they have going on like these Americans be having going on out here, man. You may think that they have so little, but, they actually, they got a lot more than you. They got peace and happiness, man, comparably to where they at, man. Oh, well, why they over here trying to come over here to go do all these things and getting over the border? Yeah, there are some little struggles and things like that, but sometimes we as Americans, we do that. We'll go to move to another city for a so-called better life. I'm leaving out of the country. I'm leaving from the backwoods to go move to New York City to try my pursuit at the Big Apple and everything else like that. And you see that person 10, 20 years later from now, they all strung out, they living on the side of the road in a cardboard box. Like, nigga, you went from living on a dirt road in a single wide trailer to now being homeless, sleeping under the bridge in Brooklyn. Like, you moved for a better, but you actually got into a worse place. You thought you was going to go get hit it big and everything else like that, but it didn't work out like that. So, yeah, I understand people's stories like that, but when you really look at it, like, bro, these people got a different type of peace in their mind. They're not stressed out about the shit we stressed out about, man. They just like, nah, we just go and we eat and we do what we do and everything is all kosher, man. But here in Babylon the Great, you have the highest number of people that's on psychotropic drugs, man. Meaning for like mental depression, mental illness and things like that, man. Mood swings and things like that. And really, it's just these demons that you have on you, man. You've been programmed with all this wickedness the whole goddamn time. Hey, you got to be heavily sedated out here, man. Going back to what I was saying earlier, man, you got to be stuck on some drugs, some alcohol, prescription drugs, You got to be caught up into the entertainment drug where you. Man, I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. I was like, look, you know how much time people spend just scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube. Like, yo, you go and you look at the hours that you spend on that. Now, granted, I spend a lot of time on YouTube, but when I be at work, I have my headphones in and I'm just listening. You know, I'll be listening to, you know, brothers teaching and documentaries and things like that, feeding my mind, that type of stuff, right? And I'd be like, look, so, hey, I can see about how much time I'm doing this versus how much time people are doing the same thing, but they over here just scrolling, looking at just pointless shit, little stupid ass memes and shit like that. I'm like, calculate how much time you just spend in your whole life, right? Of just scrolling, since we got social media now, scrolling and just looking at bullshit that don't really do anything. I was watching something the other day, or listening to something the other day, about somebody that was in a car accident and wound up dying. And they said, or this was a topic on the radio the other day. Somebody got killed in a car accident, but they was talking about how people was calling in saying how they was in car accidents. They was driving, swiping on one of these little social media sites, ran out of shit, and got onto another app, started swiping on that shit, and started watching some videos all while driving. Not listening to them, but watching them. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the car, and then getting distracted and crashing. But it's like, but you're not listening or watching nothing that's like, you know, I can understand if you're a college student and you getting your lesson being taught to you and you watching the video to cram for your test while you driving to school or something like that, or how we listen to the lessons. We may be in transit, but instead of listening to a whole lot of rah-rah hip-hop shit, you know, there's a time and place for that. I be at work sometime listening to that shit just to keep pumping and moving and shit. But a lot of times I'm like, all right, I'm tired of hearing this bullshit go on. I just be listening to a lesson or something like that, man. All right, but hey, it's feeding your mind, right? But you have these people out here just wasting their time with this BS, man. That's a whole nother drug, man. Keep you occupied. You know, somebody told me about the with weed. Weed was a weapon to basically destabilize Jake, man. There's a different term I'm looking for, but make him more docile. They don't want. You got that iconic image of Jake sitting on the porch smoking weed and rapping all goddamn day, man. But if they wasn't smoking weed, they would be out here being productive. If they were being productive, they might start thinking on themselves. They might put themselves together and fix themselves and be in a better position. But as long as they just sitting over here being passive, that's one of the words, being pacified. But there's another word I'm looking for. Basically, just being docile and everything. And they're not a threat. How do I say? They're not a threat to anybody, man. They'll never wake up. They're just over here worried about the sports games. They're worried about putting on makeup. Worried about the music videos and twerking and shit. Trying to be Instagram famous and all these different. This is all they're worried about, man. So they'll never see all these things. But yet and still, they don't realize who gave you all this here stuff that's just a distraction to you in your life, man. It's the devil. He's transformed to an angel light. He told you it was something good, but now you wasting your whole entire life just swiping away, man. Wasting your whole entire life trying to be something that you ain't gonna be, man. Wasting your whole life trying to strive for something that's just destroying you, man. You got these people in the community now that's changing their stuff, getting this cut off and that cut off and transforming and everything. They're pushing that heavy right now, but also when they started doing this with these children some years back, now these children are getting older, and they also have these documentaries of all these people that had been transformed a while back now saying, but bruh, you know, this is a horrible thing. I seen an article today, as a matter of fact, about this young, I don't know if they're an adult now, but they were saying that basically a doctor went and what's the proper term for the, I think it's called a mastectomy or whatever it is, where they cut off, you know, the breast of a female, right? And she didn't have no medical problems, but they was like, oh, you feel like this, you feel like that, and so on and so forth, man. And so they wound up, you know, what they call nip and tucking that bad boy, took it off, man. Now this person is getting a little older and their mind changes, right? And then all of a sudden they mad because they made a fucked up decision back in the past, man. And how many of us did these things? Like when you go back and you look at your school pictures of you being a kid growing up, might have been that one year you was in the 3rd or the 5th grade or some shit like that, you decided you want to get a mohawk. You know what I'm saying? You got your school pictures with a mohawk and you look back, man, what the hell was I thinking back in them days, man? Boy, I was on some real fuck shit, man. Or whatever it is, man. You just look back at yourself at those times. Man, I remember when I used to run around my Spider-Man or Superman underwear on and shit like that. Boy, I'm definitely not the same person as I was when I was 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? When I was 2 years old, I used to go and do this shit. I don't do that shit no more. I remember, it's a real story. I remember when I was probably about, 7 to 10 years old, I used to sit there and watch wrestling every week, man. Wrestling is still on. I don't watch wrestling for a motherfucking time right now. I'm like, but I'm not into this shit no more. So, but just imagine if I had to make a lifelong decision of, let's say, you know, I'm using this example, wrestling, right? Even though you can just stop watching wrestling and go back. But what happens if you made a lifelong decision at that point in time, and then it's going to affect, all right, to give you a real example, what if I was at 10, liking Stone Cold and shit like that, then I go get a big-ass Austin 316 tattoo, and then a rock tattoo on the other arm at the age of 10. Now I get older and I'm thinking to myself like, you know what? I'm mad I got these stupid ass tattoos on me now. Hey, but you don't think like that, man. All right, but getting still, this is what Esau's putting onto you, man. All right, giving you this here mindset of all these different things, leading you away from the Most High. All the things that the Most High told you not to do is what Esau's pushing and promoting in this society. So you're looking for one single person to be the Antichrist. But what is society and this here nation telling you, not just you, but the whole world? Everything that's against what the Most High said, look, I created every fruit and every vegetable with a seed inside of it. Esau giving you seedless every damn thing. The Lord said not to gender your cow, not to mix them, basically, right? He giving you GMO type of shit out here, man. He told you there was only 2 genders, and he told them, they telling you it's so many. I seen some funny shit the other day, but Piers Morgan, they was having this conversation, and the lady was like, hey, you whatever you want to be, however you want to feel, and whatever. You want to identify, a woman is whoever want to identify as a woman. Piers Morgan say, well, how come I can't identify as a black lesbian? And then there was a black lady, she bust out laughing. But the lady was like stuck, like, wait a minute, you can't. Like, see, she caught up with the identifying part. He could have identified as a woman, he would have been in power, but because he identified as a black woman, all right, or a black lesbian woman, oh, you can't, because we can clearly see you not black. Like, we can clearly see this nigga ain't no woman either. But see, this is the type of shit that y'all out here pushing, man. Only the devil would say some shit like this. The scripture say, hey, man, shouldn't have long hair because it's against nature. You might get mistaken for a woman from behind. Like, damn, look, who's this one with this long, pretty hair? Turning around, and it's a dude the whole time. Like, what the... We've all seen them videos on YouTube where they got this little website called, like, a mogul or something like that, where it's like people video chatting, and then it's like what looked like it's a girl talking to a little boy or something, like, hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And, yeah, that's right, nigga. Then they get scared and everything when they realize it's actually a dude that's talking to them, man. All right, but getting still, hey, look, who is feeding you all this here, how do I say, not to say culture, but who's feeding you all this here way of life, man? All right, you know, I had this conversation with a couple people last week as well, too. Both older ladies, right? You know what I'm saying? And talking about it, like, hey, you might need to come to church with me. They're talking about some of these women. One lady was talking about these older women walking around with their booty cheeks hanging out. Like, this is just, they should have more sense in it. They should be better examples. I was like thinking in the scriptures about how the older women are supposed to teach the younger women to be dressing modest, how to be ladies. I'm like, yeah, that's you know I preach, but this is the shit I be preaching about right here. This is the same stuff I be talking about. But people hate us when we talk about, especially when the women get up in the conversation. Oh, y'all just hate women. Y'all misogynistic. Y'all this. Y'all nah, bro. There's a problem when women she would claim herself to be Catholic. You know what I'm saying? But she old enough to damn near be my mama. But anyway, when they telling you about this here stuff, bro, there's an issue, man. All right, because hey, these are people that's of the world that's having problem with the things of the world, right? We was already upset about these things and everything else like that. We signed and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Now the haughty people of the earth are now starting to mourn, as the scriptures say, man. The people that live here, they not happy about these things. But who gave you this way of life, man? All right, this so-called Antichrist, man. All right, who you over here looking for? You don't realize the whole time you living up under them, man. But now what? The man of sin is being revealed, the son of perdition, man. Matter of fact, let's continue on in that. Verse, let me read 3 again. It says, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first. And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So, hey, even at this here point in time when they wrote this, when the Lord was on the scene, they was asking, is this the time where you about to restore the kingdom to Israel? And, hey, look, at this here point, you can rebuttal with it. Nah, man, there had to be a falling away first, right? Y'all still know that y'all Israelites, from which tribe y'all from. Paul told you which tribe he was from. They knew that they was Israelites, but we didn't know we was Israelites. We had to wake up to that fact. So there was that falling away. All right, with that had to happen, and the man of sin had to be revealed. And they was living under the Romans like how we living right about now. But they ain't realized. But now you see the awakening of these things, man. You have some of our people, and you can see it. They be like, nah, I don't know. Y'all just some racist folks out there. Y'all just hating the white man for this and that. But then after a while, if the Lord put it on them, they start waking up. Then they be sending you some shit like, yeah, that's so-called white man would do that, man. That's the devil. That's this, that's that. Because it's hard to so-called see if your eyes are blinded, man. The most I got to open up your eyes to these things. I was telling this to somebody the other day, too. It's like, bro, you don't know how bad you see, y'all think the devil is just coming over here just slapping the shit out of people and rah. That's how Jake get down. The devil, he got some wicked shit out here. You don't even know it's wicked, man. And I brought this up a while back, and I'll bring it up again. And I brought this up to this person. I was like, look, you got so much wickedness going on around you, you don't even realize how wicked shit is, because this is the devil. The devil coming like dressed up in a sense, man. He coming subtle, man. Right? Like the snake in the garden and shit like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but nevertheless, you looking around, it was, at this chick's house, like looking at, like, what's wicked? Your refrigerator is wicked. Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't think your refrigerator wicked now, do you? Like, nope. They're like, see, in the beginning, God gave us all this here food, and all we had to do is go out there and go get it, man. You know, the trees produce produce and vegetables and shit like that. We just go pick it off the either the vines, the ground, or the tree, and eat that bad boy fresh right then and there, man. You know, you go kill your meat and you eat that shit fresh. But now we got something called refrigerators, right? And what do you do with a refrigerator? You put food in there. Now, what happens if you leave food in there too long? It spoils. It gets old. You can get sick. Well, why would you be hoarding old food like that, man? Just eat the fresh food, man. All right? Now, granted, we're in this position now where you might have to eat leftovers and things like that. But, you know, at a certain point in time, we didn't have to do all that, man. We just go get what we want to go get. Now, like beforehand, not that long ago, comparably to the biblical time frame I'm telling you about. Hey, most people have farms and stuff, so you had your fresh produce, but now you go to a grocery store, all right, and now you have, you know, you had seasons for things, but now you get things year round. But in order to get things year round, what you have to go and do? You have to put certain preservatives onto this here fruits and vegetables and stuff like that for it to last that long, for you to be able to have it year round, right? And I always say this, hey, I used to work for a place, or a couple different food places. One was a tomato packing house, one was dealing with oranges and stuff like that. They only harvest that shit once a year, man. All right, and them oranges that you eating and drinking the orange juice and the tomatoes that you eating, they was growing at one point in time of the year, and they sitting on the shelf for damn near a whole year to the next season come around, man. It wasn't like that in the first place. Now these things is mixed with preservatives that's going inside and preserving the inside of your body, like how you would say mummifying or whatever they put that what is that stuff that they call formaldehyde, I believe it is, that preserves the inside organs and stuff. That's pretty much like the akin to what you're doing. You wonder why you eating these here foods that's giving you cancer, man. It's carcinogens, processed foods, and things like that, man. All right. Again, like I said, man, you got this here refrigerator situation that's supposed to preserve your food and go long. And I seen somebody had like some shit that was like from a hot, like maybe like, what the fuck was it? Whatever it was, some food. Let's just say, you know, you have certain holidays you eat certain foods with, but they had some shit in there for one holiday. Oh, I'm gonna save this. Some meat, I'm gonna save this shit. Like, man, that shit been in there for like I remember the last time I was here, you had that same shit in there. That shit is all full of freezer burn. It's got all kind of ice over. That shit is like 2 years old. Like, bruh, you ain't poor, bruh. You can go buy a brand new fresh one. You trying to preserve some old shit like that, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, now we're not saying somebody rich or, you know, all this stuff, but let's say hypothetically the equivalent would be this: some ramen noodles. You done cooked you a pack of ramen noodles up, and then you gonna try, and you got full. And you got like a little portion left. Oh, I'm gonna save this little portion of this little pack. Like, bruh, that pack was 10 cents. Might be even cheaper than that shit. Like, bruh, go ahead and throw that shit away, man. At this point, you trying to preserve that shit. Now, what happens if that shit get old on you? It ain't good for you to eat. But now you're gonna try to preserve it, let it sit a little longer. Now you got a little, this is a little mildew, a little more. Man, throw that shit away, go get some else. The Most High done bless you with enough money to go get some more shit. You ain't eating out the trash out here. If that was a scenario, then you gotta do what you gotta do. But right now, they got a whole box of them shits. You done bought a whole pack of goddamn noodles for $1, man. $1 fucking dollar, bro. You ain't stressing over that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, hey, we don't realize how wicked a lot of these here things is that's going on around us. Social media. Oh, I can be in contact with my family and my relatives and things like that. But you really don't actually have real meaningful conversations with these people no more. How many people call and talk to people on the phones nowadays, man? Have meaningful conversations with your relatives and things like that. You might shoot them a text, happy birthday, Merry Christmas. We don't celebrate them holidays, but you know what I'm saying? It would be at least not like you got relatives you don't talk to, your mother, your father, your grandparents. Maybe they might be alive and they live in a different state. You ain't talked to them throughout the whole year. And you know what I'm saying? Hey, a holiday might come around. It might be a good, you're not celebrating a holiday, but hey, I know I'm off and I know you off. So I'm going to go ahead and call you and say, hey, you know, how's it going, Pops? How's life been going? How's it going, Mom? How's life been going? And so on and so forth, man. But people don't even do that no more because, why? They got social media, but yet they're so much further away from people nowadays, man. All right, they got these filters. Oh, so they can look better in the pictures and things like that. But now you're deceiving everybody now. Everybody's used to seeing your quote-unquote avatar. When they see you in real life, like, who the fuck is this? See, it's all deception, man. Who gave you all this here deceitfulness, man? All right, this is Esau's doing, man. All right, as a whole, man. Them is a whole group of people, man. All right, they know who we are. They know the ancient history and all the artifacts of who we are. They never told us any of these things, man. And they got us over here programmed talking about some us being niggas and shit like that. I seen another video the other day. This white dude was still in a Cadillac converter off of this truck, and he got pulled up on by another Edomite videotaping and shit like that. And I'm over here looking and reading the comments, and I'm like, you know, the comments would be different if it was a black person. If it was a black person, yeah, we know only one community does this. This is why these niggas don't need to be this. It was always a race thing. But then now, when it was a white dude still, and everybody's comments was, yeah, this is why I parked my car in the garage. This is why I do this and that. Like, but what about the person? Like, I wanted to comment. I don't comment on videos, but I wanted to comment on this shit. Like, look at these niggas out here, man. This is why we got to get rid of these niggas out here. I can't stand niggas, man. These niggas is the lowest life form on the whole face of the earth. They stir up the same rhetoric that they say about so-called black people. Like, this is white people doing this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Jake be trying to survive out here doing some other shit. This nigga just chose to be like this, man. You had to see the type of nigga it was, but I'm like, yeah, this nigga just chose to be like this, man. Stealing some shit, getting caught and everything, all for his little drug habit, man. Junkies, man. But nevertheless, hey, the idea that things is going on out here is, you know, Jake is the bottom feeders and be stealing and everything else like that. Esau's the thief. He stole every goddamn thing, man. All right, like, bro, we'll go out there. We'll try to hustle up some shit. Like, hey, bro, can I wash your car? Can I cut your grass? Hey, you want to buy some watermelon? I got some water bottles over here. What's up, bro? Let me try to make some money. Let me shine your shoes. Let me hold the door for you. Let me work on the car in the neighborhood. We'll go do all those things first before we just go and try to start robbing and killing folks. Now, granted, you do have some our young boys that's going out here doing these things, but guess where they get that shit from, man? Watching TV and music videos and stuff that's being pushed and promoted by Esau, man. All right? Going out here talking about some catching bodies. Now, the people that's listening to King Von and Young Dirk and all them niggas like that, talking about spinning the block and catching bodies, they all young boys, man. By the time they get to their 30s and shit like that, they're like, but this is some dumbass shit, but why would I be, what the fuck I want to do this shit for, man? All right, but only the young, but 16, 17-year-old, nah, boy, I'll do this, I'll do that, making them feel, but you trying to destroy their life before they even take off, man. Get them in prison, get them killed beforehand, but if they make it past a certain age, their mindset is not on that shit no more. I don't want to be no gangbanger. I don't want to be getting shot at. I don't want to be doing, I'm trying to go sit with some big booty bitches on the beach side, man. I'm not trying to be over here with a bunch of you niggas just mean mugging me all goddamn day. But that's what Esau put into our people, man. We just be trying to chill. Jake, like Scripture said, Jake is a plain man dwelled in tents. He was the perfect upright man. We just trying to kick it, man. Enjoy life. But Esau over here trying to commandeer every damn thing. He's a cunning hunter, man. Trying to keep everybody up under him so he can get these resources and reign over top of these people, man. All right, have you not seen what he has done to the whole earth? He is oppressed and he is taking everybody up under his up under him, man. All right, and their resources, man. Now look, the scriptures say, we're gonna come back to this, but Job 9:24. Could have just quoted it before I try to find the page, but Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who and where is he? Right? So, hey, let me read this other precept. Oh, wait. All right, this is oops. Oh, I gotta go one page back. I don't know why I'm tripping. All right, so Sirach 10. Let me just go to 3. Sirach 10:3. It says, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So an unwise king is going to destroy his people. The earth was given into the hand of who? The wicked, not the righteous, the wicked. So Esau was given the earth, right? And he wound up destroying the earth because he's an unwise king, man. He's a wicked one, an unprofitable servant, man. And this is where he got everybody at right now, leading them down the path of destruction, man. If Esau been in control for what, the last 400 or 500 years or something like that. If he was such a saint, if he was such upholding citizen, if he was such all these different things, why don't we have a profitable society that we live in right about now? With all the technology that they got, I've heard that they got stuff to create, and they don't even really need this shit, but they got stuff to turn salt water into, you know, fresh drinking water. You know, but then you have places that don't even have fresh, clean drinking water. Like, bro, you got a whole oceans full of that shit, man. And technically, it don't ever really disappear. You can consume it, but it's gonna go right back into the earth again, right? Why don't you use those machines to do that? You do it for yourself, but how come you don't do it for you know, these poor countries and things like that, man? All right, you'll send military aid over to Ukraine, but you won't go give them water, right, into other nations and things like that. Food, right? You're creating all this artificial food, 3D printed meats and everything else like that. But then you got people that's starving, that's eating out of trash cans, that ain't never really had meat a day in their life. It's 19 cents a day. Why don't y'all go feed them that goddamn food instead of trying to feed it to us, first and foremost, man? Not saying that you should be feeding it to anybody, but I'm saying if this was a righteous man that was in rulership, and you had the technology that you had, this is what you would be doing with the technology that you have. But no, this is what the fuck this nigga is doing with it, man. Oh yeah, we gonna use this here bombs and stuff like that to not excavate the earth and everything else like that, but we gonna use this shit to kill off people with, man. All right, we're gonna use these here certain chemicals because some of the chemicals, some of these deadly chemicals that they use against people, you can actually use it for a productive, All right, so not just talking about the chemicals, we can go back to the dynamite, right? You can use explosives to be blowing people up, or you can use explosives to again carve through mountains and things like that, and excavate the earth with it, man. But it's just all in how you use it, man. All right, you have a lot of these different drugs and things that they've created for certain things, like let's say for anesthesia, so you can get surgeries and stuff like that without being hurt. But then they also have stuff that's they created LSD and stuff. Oh, we want to be able to make chemical warfare to throw off the soldiers and everything else like this, so we can just come in and take. Bruh, you created this here shit, man. This is what you wind up doing, man. And this is what you out here pushing and promoting out here, man. All right, social media, man. We can go on that all damn day long, man. You don't have the social media, the YouTube and everything. Like, if they really cared about all this stuff, man, you wouldn't have no twerking, no killing, no knockout games, none of this fuckery on the YouTube, man. You would have, look, only thing you would find on YouTube is, look, how to cook, how to balance a checkbook, how to raise your kids up the right way, how to, the truth of the Lord and everything else like that, man. But we could take that out. We're just saying how to make a productive society, man. All right, you can put these videos up on we watching social media all day. You see people sitting there scrolling. You happy like, oh, these motherfuckers is educating their mind. You spending all this time in school instead. Hey, watch this. Home economics is one of the classes that they need to bring back to school, man. Where you go in there, you learn how to cook, you learn how to sew some little shit up and everything else like that. Now, I used to think about this was a little class that I didn't want to be in because I was a guy. But hey, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to cook some of the little basics and things like that to save your damn life. You got adults right now that's got kids that don't know how to goddamn boil no eggs, don't know how to boil no ramen noodles or boil no goddamn rice, right? You know what I'm saying? And they got kids, but guess what? Because they didn't learn about how to do those things, they go out to eat every single night, costing them way much more money and eating way less quality of food, man. So I'm just like, yo, man, who taught you these types of things? But guess what? They know how to do the little latest TikTok dance. Just all they do is scroll on TikTok all the damn day long. Like, if I was y'all, I'd be like, look, let me know how to, I got on one of my little, I got a burner YouTube account where I have a playlist on there, like certain little things about cooking certain food. If I don't know how to cook certain things, how to make certain things, hey, I'll go in and boom, this is how to make that. How to make, certain vitamins and things, put those things together and stuff like that, little workout regimens and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But like, hey, this is what it was on my burner account, so it's just not mixed in with just my truth videos and things that come down. But like I said, if this was a productive kingdom, the kings, oh, we want to ban TikTok. Well, y'all want to ban TikTok because y'all say the Chinese got some stuff into it and it's not so well and everything else. And these kids, young kids doing TikTok challenges that want to kill them. Why not replace it with something positive, man? All right, y'all got this shit where y'all was teaching these kids Baby Shark and they was singing that shit from birth. You know what I'm saying? Teach them how to actually, the little jingles you got, teach them some shit that's going to teach them something way better in their life, man. How to spell, how to do this, how to do that. We talking about little 2 and 3 year olds, you know what I'm saying? They be learning a little shit like that, but nevertheless, you just be teaching them nonsense, man. All right, and then when they get older, they know the little Cardi B songs, the little Dirk songs and everything else like that, where they just constantly chanting the same stuff. But hey, man, talk about getting your credit score up or fixing this and fixing that. They got drill music talking about woke up in the morning, met a little shouty this and that, picked up and sent it over to the ops house and backdoored this nigga doing all these things. Man, they should be teaching you some shit like, look, I got up, I called the credit company, got some fuck shit off of my credit, started paying all my shit the right way, you know what I'm saying, and went and did X, Y, and Z, and did this and did that, now my credit's straight. Now we just on the up and ups. Everybody out here got good credit. We all benefiting from this here stuff, man. The thing that's holding us down is these unproductive motherfuckers, man. But instead of teaching them how to become more productive, like this shit that's going on in New York, y'all giving them these crack pipes and everything else like that. I'm like, come on now. My tax dollars is paying for these people to go get blasted out here and everything else like that. And then these people are the ones out here committing crimes. And it's all Edomites. Because if it was black folks out here trying to do some goddamn drugs and shit, you see what they did was for the black people who smoke weed, they got the dispensaries and made them have to pay extra more money for that shit, man. But for the white folks and the drugs that they doing, they give them free vending machines to go get blasted and zooted all day. And we have to pay for they drug habit. And we have to pay for their the shit where they go to the little doctor to go get fixed for rehab. We have to pay for all that shit because they're Edomites. But you see, this is what we're talking about, man. We done got kind of sidetracked talking about these goddamn how you say, oh shit, I'm losing some time here. Antichrist system and everything else like that. And these people, they're oblivious, man. They have no idea about these things that's going on. But hey, we come out here, we tell you about these things, man. We reveal this nigga to you, man. Let's go back to that 2 Thessalonians. Well, let me finish this off in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiasticus. It says, let me start back at 3. Let me start at the top. A wise judge will instruct his people. And the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As a judge of the people is himself, so are the rulers of his officers. And what manner of man is the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein. So if you wicked, as a ruler, they gonna all be wicked, man. If you corrupt, they gonna all be corrupt, man. If you was righteous, they gonna all be righteous out there, man. But yet and still, hey, these people don't see these things like that, man. All right, you know, that's why you see like folks that's over here in China, they in North Korea, they look up to their leaders like that nigga God, because that's how they train them to be over there, man. All right, but now, hey, if you had it to where it's like, look, when we get in the office, hey, we're gonna be with the law, statutes, commandments, because that's how we gonna be rocking, man. All right, but yeah, you got these devil worshippers out here, man. And they have these sacrifices and these rituals that they out here doing. What do they think? What do you think they got you out here doing, man? Chanting your little mantras and things with these little rap songs. Got you doing the little dances. You don't even realize you're doing fucking ritual steps and everything else like that. You got the whole ritual going on. And then they got you in the concerts, mass rituals going on. They all dancing, singing, doing the same little steps. You know what I'm saying? They got you out here doing, you look into it, these same little yoga poses and things like that. They got you, a lot of these people out here doing mass rituals, and you have no fucking idea about it, man. But this is, the earth was given into the hand of not the righteous, but into the hand of the wicked. He took peace from the earth. He did all these things, man. He changed all the ordinances of the Most High, man. I'm holding way too many precepts, but we'll get Isaiah 24 and 4. Isaiah 24 and 4 says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. All right, so hey, even the proud people of the earth, they being destroyed out here because the wicked is in rulership, and they destroying even the wicked out here, man. All right, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because, so the earth is defiled, it's destroyed, man, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant. All right, so they changed the ordinances and the laws, statutes, commandments that the Lord has set up, man. All right, you know, you had a land Sabbath. They don't have a land Sabbath no more. You wonder why your fruits and your vegetables is all small. Ain't no more nutrients, no more vitamins inside of that. You got to take supplements on the side and everything else like that, man. All right, you got all these hormones and steroids that they was pumping into some, like the chicken and shit like that. You see in chicken, man, I forgot what it was, but it was like from the egg to your plate, it was like something like 20-something days. The whole chicken life go from being a little chicken to a big chicken in 20, that ain't even a month. He don't live this, he got to his fully grown potential because of steroids in less than a month. Now you go and consume that. Now you got these steroids inside of you, and you wondering why your little 12-year-old son look like he a goddamn sumo wrestler, got women titties and everything, man. You feeding him all this here steroids and stuff, or saying like, you know, you putting all this meat tenderized on and stuff. Now your whole insides is all fucked up because you doing that to yourself, man. Eating all this here foods with all these additives and things like that, man. And you wondering why, you know, your body is breaking down, man. All right, hey, but who gave you all this here stuff, man? Esau did, man. All right, this is what he will wind up doing, man. All right. It says the earth is also defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, and broken the everlasting covenant, man. All right, everything was supposed to be set in righteousness, to run in a perpetual order, man. The earth was it's still gonna abide forever, but Esau is changing the natural ordinance of these things. You know, the Hellefont right there, 300 SRT. Well, that was some made shit. But anyway, that bitch is loud. Scat Pack 300. Anyway, Esau done changed all these things, man, and look at how much more he's doing. You know, drilling all this here oil out of the earth, man. Tectonic plates starting to rub and friction. If you know anything about machinery and things like that, hey, you have to keep your machinery well lubricated, man, because a metal on metal is not good. You try driving your goddamn car with no oil in there, you got those metal pieces is moving. It's very small gaps in between that shit, but with that heat, shit start expanding, and metal start touch metal, you gonna throw a rod. You need oil in your motherfucker right there, man. But see, you take all the oil out of the earth, you get more earthquakes and things like that, man. You introduce certain species into the wrong area, he'll start eating up it's an invasive species, start eating up everything else around there, killing off everything else. But it's an ecosystem. Well, this here thing destroyed all of these things, and these things kept this here cycle going, which would, you know, let's say hypothetically, this is not an actual scenario, but these things happen. But you done brought, let's say, a fish over here. Matter of fact, well, this is a real story. Here in Florida, y'all heard about these goddamn pythons we have here, right? These big ass pythons, 18 feet pythons and shit like that. That's not natural to Florida, man. Somebody done brought, not somebody, but these people, they go to the store, they go buy these Burmese pythons and shit like that, and they'll let them go. They don't want them no more and things like that. Instead of just killing them off, they let them go and they go out in the wild. Now these snakes, they don't get it. They will only get as big as their cage is. So when you have it in your house and you got a little fucking 10-gallon tank, this motherfucker ain't gonna get no bigger than a foot, 2 feet long, something like that. You know, you have a 55-gallon tank, he might get about 4 or 5 feet, right? You let him go outside, he gonna keep getting. He gonna get as big as he gonna get. 18 feet, you know what I'm saying? 17 feet. We seen them out here eating deers and alligators and shit like that. But because it's not natural over here, right? It eats up everything else that's over here. Now let's just say hypothetically it start eating up. Now we don't necessarily need alligators. Well, everything has a purpose. But let's just say hypothetically these damn snakes start eating up all the deer around here. Now the alligators normally be eating the deers and shit like that, and or whatever they be eating, right? Now they don't have a food. Now the alligators is gone. Now you done fucked up this here ecosystem, man. Right? You know, there's a thing with the lionfish up the East Coast, man. People done brought these lionfish. Well, I believe they come from Africa. They eat up like the coral reef. The coral reef is a life, you know, it's a ecosystem for a lot of shit in the ocean, man. Also producing, like, you know, certain things in the ocean for the oxygen and everything else like that, man. You can kill off a whole system, man, if you just, hey, you let one thing go wrong, everything gonna go wrong inside your shit, man. All right, like I said, hey, even with a car, the car got a bad timing or something like that, man. No oil in it, the whole thing is gonna go to shit, man. All right, you gotta have every component that you have going in there. You can't just start taking things apart, man. Just like your body, man. You know what I'm saying? You got your liver that's supposed to, you know, pull out like poisons and toxins and things like that. You get rid of that and see what happens, man. All right, but nevertheless, Esau is the one who did all these things, man. All right, the son of perdition, man. The wicked one that has rulership over the earth. Like I said, hey, man, with him ruling, if he was had some kind of righteousness in him, again, we read earlier, he transformed himself to an angel of light, but if he had any kind of righteousness in him, we would be way better off, man. All right, we wouldn't be using nuclear bombs or nuclear power for nuclear bombs. We would be using it for a fuel source. All right, you got an unlimited fuel source with that. Now we don't have to keep relying on burning coal and everything else like that. We can just use nuclear power and we got an unlimited fuel source, man. But yet and still, hey, these people hoarding all this here stuff for themselves, man. All right, they got you over here talking about something, hey, you got to eat the bug sandwiches and crickets and shit like that. You know, stop eating meat and eat the fake meat because we run out of meat. Meanwhile, they hoarding all the best cows, man, and eating all of that stuff, man. All right, and hey, if you know like I know, if you live like how I live, and not just, you know, and around certain of these areas, you can go ride out into the little country part of your little town and you can see nothing but cow pastures full of thousands of cows, man. I know quite a few people who got pastures of cows. In fact, they get paid money from the state to have cows on their the whole purpose of them having cows is for tax write-off for, you know, they live on a big ass property and they got a couple businesses and things like that, so they get a tax write-off for just having cows on their property, man. And then at the end of the day, they'll wind up selling the cows and making money off of it or eating the cows, man. So it's a win-win for them. So they're actually encouraged to have these things, man. All right, but then you have in certain places nowadays, it's like, you know what? The cows is farting too much. The methane is going up. They burping and shit. We gotta put masks on them, and we gonna pay some of these farmers to kill off their cows so that we have less cows on the earth, so that we can we don't have so much pollution. Like, well, what kind of sense does that make, man? Now, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, now you don't have this here, the so-called vitamins and nutrients that you would get from a cow. You got to supplement it some other kind of way, man. All right, look at these people that are vegans and vegetarians and things like that. They stop eating the meat and everything else like that, but they got to supplement what they're missing on these things, man. Certain types of ways, man. But yet still, who introduced all this here stuff to you? It was Esau. He ain't like this, man. All right? Let me finish this off real quick. Let me finish that one. Going back to 2 Thessalonians. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Oh, wait, we didn't finish this in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse... let's start at the top again. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of his people is, so are his officers. And what manner of the man the ruler of the city is, such are they that dwell therein. All right? An unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. And the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set one over. He will set over one that is profitable. So, hey, the Lord is in control of all these things. The Lord is the one that's promoting and taking down these kings on the earth, man. But right now it's the time in the season for Esau to be in his power, man. Now is the time in the season for Esau to have his rulership, man. You go back to Genesis 27, he was blessed with the dew from heaven, man. Possession of the earth, man. But he has a temporary rulership, and Jacob has an everlasting rulership. The scriptures say Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So we're at that time frame now where Esau is being he's being revealed. All right, the end shall not come. Well, let's go back to that now. 2 Thessalonians 2 and let's start back up. 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin, the son of Salak. Except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. Right? And we're in this time. We're about to close out. Let me go jump over to verse 8 real quick. And then shall the wicked be revealed, who the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. And Esau is being consumed right now. He's being exposed right now through the mouths of the prophets, man. We've been telling you about all these things from the jump. People used to call us racists, bigots, and things like that. But now they actually seeing all these things, man. Now they calling them out. You know, I say it started out, you know, amongst the prophets first, right? The prophets spoke these things amongst other prophets and taught other prophets about this. Esau being a damn devil, right? And we was preaching amongst ourselves. Then we went, you know, we was preaching and only ourselves was getting it first. But then it went from there. You know, we were on the highways and the byways. People was in disagreement. So you guys are just racist. Those are those racist guys out there. To another point to where you're starting to see, hey, you know, more Jacobs was waking up. But then now you have like these other world leaders, all right, are now starting to call out Esau, man. All right, you have you know, the Chinese president calling out these Edomites, the French president calling out these American Edomites. I'm saying, hey man, we got to put Europe first. We got to put our shit first, man. We can't just blindly walk in and be, you know, following after these niggas over here no more. Like, yo, but those was your partners. They still your partners, but you calling them out, man, right? But yet and still, you have some African leaders that called them out as well too. So everybody now is calling them out to where let's go and grab that in the precept real quick, because hey, this is all prophecy being fulfilled, man. All right, that's in Isaiah. Here we go. Isaiah 14 and 16. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms, that made the world a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, and that opened not the house of his prisoners? And this is what they're saying right about now. Is this the man that did destroy the kingdoms of the earth, man? They're looking at him as like I was saying about the French president, man. They're saying, look, we can't just keep going along to get along, following after these people, because it's going to end up in our own destruction. You see what those sanctions did to them and Germany and everything else like that. So they're starting to realize, hey, man, this is the guy that's fucking it all up, man. Who went over there and blew up half the damn Middle East and dropped all those munitions over there? It was this guy, right? So, hey, these people are starting to wake up to see all these things, man. So, again, you had it amongst us first, amongst the brotherhood and everything else like that, telling each other about the son of perdition, who he was, you know, the man of sin, revealed him amongst them. Then you have these international leaders that's saying the same thing. Now you have, let me read this precept. Hopefully we don't get cut off, but Psalm 64. And, I could read this all the way down. Let me just start at the top. The point here is in verse 8. Hear my voice, O Yahweh, and my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And this is where we are right now. You know, we're trying to be passed over from, you know, Esau coming down with great wrath upon us, man. We want the Lord to protect us in these times, man. Hide us from the secret counsel of the wicked, which is, what's the secret counsel? To eradicate Jake, man. To give us all that, because what Revelation 14 say, if you take that damn mark of the beast, your ass is missile food. So, hey, Esau, let's give them the goddamn chip. So they'll be missile food. Most High will take them out. We can't exterminate them, but the Lord will exterminate them for us. And if they all exterminated, then who the Lord coming back to raise back up? See, the pride of thy heart has deceived thee. All right, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. This is what Esau's mindset is. All right. Psalm 64 and 3, 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked and the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. All right, their philosophies, their laws, all these different things that they put in the all these laws they put it in the books for all these different things. So you had this woman, a couple different cases. You had this woman who basically got shot at through her damn door. I believe it was an Edomite woman that shot this Jake woman through her door and everything in her own house, right? And they didn't even try to really go and arrest the white woman after that fact. I don't know if it was a white woman or a white dude that shot the black lady. But anyway, there was another scenario where there was this white lady who just walked up into Jake's house because they had the music up too loud or whatever. So she just walks up in their house and trying to scream at them to tell them to turn their music down. The irony is like, you know, different states is a little different, but hey, you walk up in somebody's house, that's grounds for you to kill them, right? You know, hey, they breaking in and they trespassing. You got the right to, in certain states. I don't know about every state, but you know, in Florida, you can murder a motherfucker for that. But like I just told you, the black woman was inside her house and got shot through the door, right? Inside her own house, like they from the outside shooting at her, and they didn't even really go after to go arrest that person. And now Jake is inside their house again, and the so-called white woman came barged up into their house because they had the music up. Instead of calling the police or whatever, she just, or go knocking on the door, she just walks up into their house and everything. Now, if Jake would have smoked her ass, oh, they would have been in jail. They would have had to investigate and this and that, all these different things. But hey, this is the society that we live under, man. They have different, how I say, laws and things. There's a different way of, like for instance, Esau can always have a gun on them. You know, they get pulled over. Is there any weapons or anything like that? They call, yeah, I got my gun on me. I got this. All right, so let me get your driver's license, this and that. Just want to know. Now, Jake get pulled over. Is there any guns here? Oh, you possession of an illegal firearm. Well, what the fuck made it illegal? I bought it legally from the store. What the fuck was illegal about it, man? All right, like I don't understand how come I can't have a gun, but they can have a gun. Possession of a firearm. Like I thought we had the constitutional right to possess a firearm. I ain't no felon or nothing. Y'all ain't never told me I couldn't have a gun. But now all of a sudden I'm in danger because I got a gun on me now or whatever. Like what the fuck? But hey, this is you know, laws for us and laws for them. All right, this is the secret council. They trying to get us either killed off by feeding us poisons in the hood from the very beginning. All right, inoculating our wives, our women, you know, and while they're pregnant and things like that. And when the babies come out, immediately feeding them a whole bunch of BS. All right, and raising them up in a deaf culture and everything, just the hopes that we all be destroyed. But for them, they raise their children and their families up completely different, man. It's all holistic, man. All right, a lot of them, they're not feeding their babies baby formula and stuff. They breastfeeding them the natural way, man. Giving birth the natural way. It's like, yo, the C-section, like, this is a mockery. How come it's that damn near every so-called Negro, Latino, Native American woman, they always have to go through where they have to go give them a C-section and things like that. But the Edomite women, they always go give birth naturally and things like that, man. All right, and there was something, I forgot what it was, but it's something in that epidural or whatever it is that they give them that fucks up the baby later on, you know, that you don't even know about. But it's, hey, but nevertheless, hey, man, this is, you start seeing these things, man. You go to the gas station in the hood versus the gas station in the white people neighborhood and look at the different products that they have out here, man. All right, they in the hoods, they got a bunch of pig skins, Swisher Sweets. And then the whole back of the goddamn behind the nigga in the is taking your money, the cash register. The whole wall behind him is full of goddamn Swisher Sweets and every goddamn kind of different color and flavor that they got in the whole world. Black T-shirts, Black and Miles, Newports and shit like that, man. You got Four Locos. You got all kind of MD 2020 and shit all up in there, man. Hot Cheetos, Takis, and everything. They got all that shit up in them stores, man. You go to the white people neighborhoods, you go to their gas stations, they got fresh fruit right there at the counter. Bananas, apples, and things like that. A bunch of juices. Right, you go to the hood store. They got all these cases of drinks, and one case of water. So it's a bunch of juices and sodas and Hawaiian punches and shit like that. The little barrel juices and things like that. Just food coloring and water and shit, man. Right? They got all that in the Jake neighborhood. But you go into the Edomite neighborhood, you go to the gas station, you may see 1 or 2 cases of soda, 1 Pepsi and 1 Coke. But everything else is full of water, milk. You got like 5 fucking water cases in there, different kinds of water and everything else that's up in there, man. Right? So hey. You have different things for him and there. That's the secret council of the wicked, man. They trying to kill us off, man. We can read about that in First Maccabees, I believe it is, where Antiochus made the law to where you couldn't keep the law, statutes, commandments anymore. All right, so that their souls could be abominations, man. They would just keep continuously teaching their kids how to do some fuck shit. I grew up eating hot Cheetos and Takis and shit, so my kids can grow up eating hot Cheetos and Takis and Doritos and shit like that, man. Drinking, you know, whatever, Hawaiian punch, you know what I'm saying, and eating fruit roll-ups and Lunchables and things like that, man. Hey, I grew up eating it, so my kids can grow up eating it, man. And then you wondering why, you know, your little 12-year-old little boy developing bigger titties than your damn daughter and shit like that, man. And she's 17 years old. But there's stuff that's in the food, man. All right, they feminizing the boys and masculizing, or you know, I guess you could say making the women more masculine, right? They have all these different things. All it's because it's in the foods, man. All right. But hey, Esau is the one who set these things up, man. Esau is the one who put these things on to order, man. Part of the secret council of the wicked. Hey, hide me from the secret council of the wicked so I don't go through all these things. I don't eat that shit. Like just nowadays, man. Like, bro, y'all eating out here eating fast food and shit. Nah, I don't eat no fast food. I don't even eat no chain link like restaurants and shit like that, man. Nah, we good on that. That food out there, hey, So I heard somebody say that's that McDonald's vibe. They got that McDonald's spirit on them, where they just docile as hell. They just whatever. It's like, yeah, y'all just go around eating McDonald's all goddamn day. That shit might corrupt your mind for real, for real. I know it'll corrupt your stomach, but they might corrupt your mind in consuming that bullshit, man. All right, but hey, this is part of the Council of the Wicked, man. You see all these here McDonald's and things like that, the liquor stores, the Amscots, and all these things in Jake neighborhoods. You go to Edomite neighborhoods, you don't see them things like that, man. You see, now they'll have like those other restaurants we have them out here, like the Culverts and stuff. Like you go in a drive-through, you're gonna be waiting like 15 minutes for your goddamn food in a drive-through because it's actually some fresh shit, somewhat fresh shit, fresher shit than McDonald's, and they actually gotta go and grill that shit for you, man. All right, but hey, this is what Esau's plan is, to eradicate Jake. But continuing on, it says, who whet their tongues like swords. Let me go up to the top. It says, hear my voice, O Yahweh, and my prayer, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongues like swords, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, and suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. So that's they shooting at us, and they don't fear a repercussion of those things. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privately and say, who shall see them? And hey, that's the secret counsel of the wicked. They're gonna try to get us caught up in a snare, and be like, hey, y'all ate McDonald's. Yeah, it was on y'all. Y'all should have ate more healthier. Y'all should have ate a more healthy diet than that. All right. Again, you don't see these Edomite kids. Some of them are the lower ends, but you don't really see these Edomite kids going to the McDonald's and asking for no goddamn Happy Meals and shit like that. They're like, nah, you gonna eat some homemade shit from the crib, or you know, you gonna eat your carrots, eat your little banana or your apple sliders or whatever you eating, man. Make sure you get that. You know what I'm saying? No, you don't drink no sodas at the house. You get some juice and you get some water that you can drink, man. All right, and these kids be like, oh yeah, can I get another bottle of water, mom? Can I get another? Meanwhile, Jake in the hood, can I get some more Kool-Aid, mom? That's all that they know. They happy with their red Kool-Aid tongue and everything else like that. But hey, they trying to cut us off. But again, this is the wicked. All right. It says, they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. You know, the scriptures say Esau is a cunning hunter. He know exactly if we feed him this here shit, it's going to raise this or lower this. It's going to cause him to do this, and it's going to cause him to do that. If we give them shellfish and pork and shit, they're going to get diabetes and everything else like that, and they ain't going to be walking around. They're going to have, this and that. They're going to have that. We're going to give them all these different things by feeding them. They're like, bro, all this here shit come from your diet that you over here been eating and so on and so forth, man. Oh, you got cancer because you was smoking that goddamn Newports with that fiberglass and that shit, man. All right, or you was, drinking some low-level ass alcohol your whole goddamn life. Now your shit all fucked up out here, man. All right, but hey, this is what they push for our people out here, man. All right. It says, but the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, and suddenly they shall be wounded. You know, when those nukes come. This is the point I wanted to grab. So they should make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away. And going back to the original point I was making about how the son of perdition being revealed. First it was among the brothers. Then you had it with these international leaders and things calling Esau out. Now you have Edomites calling other Edomites out, man. Look at the news, man. You got these folks talking about how wicked this here place is, the community's agenda that's going on. They're doing this and doing that to the children. Hey, a week ago, last year, whatever it was, y'all was screaming at us talking about some we haters and let the community do what they want to go and do. Is they just children. Let the drags have the drag races in there with the little kids and everything else. Now they out here complaining. You see them saying like, hey, we was already on this bandwagon. Remember, y'all hated us a while back, but now y'all on the bandwagon arguing the same things we arguing, man. Y'all tired of seeing this here shit too. They had the whole Target, which this what got my video goddamn taken down talking about this, but we'll just say Bud Light and Target, right? You had those scenarios, right? Hey, they got the backlash not because of the men of the Lord was out there protesting. It's because of these wicked people, the haughty people of the earth is out here complaining about this here shit out here now, man. All right, but who started that vibration, man? Who was talking about this was a problem before, and they canceled us for all these things, man? Remember, now think about where you would really be if we was all the way canceled, right? Or like the scriptures say, the famine of the word. All right, which we can get into that, but hey, that's why you gonna have friends fighting like enemies, because look at where we at now. Everything we've been telling you has come true. Now, they said that everything we told you was a lie. They made it censored to where we couldn't talk about it on the internet, like the UFOs. It's a big one right there. Hey, the UFOs. Oh, y'all think y'all believe in UFOs and everything, but that was what I wanted to preach about this week and everything else like that. But now they talking about they just doubled down on the damn stories this week, talking about some we got plenty of crashed and shot down UFOs. With this here technology, this is where we've been getting the technology from. We even got some of the beans that was inside of there and everything. Yeah, we got all of this here stuff, man. But see, now that's coming out in the woodwork, which again, We're not ignorant of Satan's devices. I said this in a video before. Esau trying to get everybody into subjection again. All he got to do is one move. Pull out some damn real crash spacecraft that you just shot down, and the pilot of that motherfucker can go post up, take a selfie. Yeah, I shot this nigga. Yeah, I'm posting up on like they be doing out of there in Chicago. Yeah, fuck nigga, we pissing on your grave type shit. You do that, the whole earth is gonna be quiet before you, bro. There's gonna be no nation like, and I say this about this propaganda, like nigga, you can't shoot down the Satan 1 and the Satan 2 intercontinental ballistic missile. Let alone you can't shoot down no fucking hypersonic missile. How the fuck you finna take down some shit from space? Some shit that fly through space and be dodging asteroids and shit. And you know how long they measure shit in light years. A light year is the time it would take for light to reach from point A to point B. So if it's gonna take 1 year at the speed of light for light to hit from one spot to the next spot, that's 1 light year. They be like, oh yeah, this spot is like 100 light years away. Now relatively everything where we could, our solar system and shit that they be telling you about, oh, that shit is relatively close. And I say relatively close, you can see the moon. The moon is the closest shit to us, right? But you can't really see like some of them far planets way the fuck out there because they ain't as big. And I say that like they so far out you can't see it, but that's relatively close. You talking about some, and then they telling you, this is from their words, there ain't no living shit that's anywhere in our solar system. So this shit's got to be further out from our solar system. I'm going off of their narrative. We know what it is, but so these beings is coming from out of our solar system. They traveling a far fucking way. And in these little crafts and everything else like that. Now, you can't shoot down a intercontinental ballistic missile, right? That's free falling back down from space. You can't shoot down a intercontinental ballistic missile, or a hypersonic missile, all right, that's traveling so goddamn fast. And you talking about you just shot down some spacecraft, nigga? We not ignorant of your devices, man. And even if you did, that would be your ultimate flex. Hey, man, none of the Israelites would come up against you at that point in time like, well, damn, that was our way up out of here. You shooting them down, you know what I'm saying? So what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would, you could break a lot of Israelites' faith with that, man. But, you know what I'm saying? That's not the case, man. And you would get all these Americans on your side, like, yeah, well, hey, our government has shot this shit down, so who gonna say something to us, right? What is the other nations gonna say to you? Russian them, like, look, we gonna come over there and wax that ass if y'all don't stop fucking around with the fuck around. Oh, y'all got hypersonic missiles? Bitch, we shooting down spacecraft. The fuck that's gonna do to us? We got spacecraft. We done stole they shit. We gonna come pull up on your ass. They were like, oh, you can have our nukes, you can have our hypersonic missiles, just don't kill us. Because we know you hit us one time with this, it's done, right? That's just like Cuba talking shit to America. And America like, bro, we can hit you with one nuke and your island would never cease. We wouldn't even know that your island was ever there, let alone our whole nuclear arsenal. So don't fuck with us, bro. We don't even have to use nukes. Your island ain't that big, right? That's the equivalent to them talking shit to America. Like, hey, we preparing for an invasion on America. Us and our 30,000 troops. Like, 30,000 troops, nigga. 30,000. Like, we got 30,000 troops on this half of the base alone, bro. Like, you don't really want to fuck with us with that, man. We got multiple branches of the military, too. So it's an overkill. That's how America would be if they really had some quote-unquote spacecraft, shot down some people and everything. Bro, don't be listening to this. This nigga's on some bullshit. But nevertheless, this is the deception that he has out here, man. All right? Hey, the nukes was the other topic I was going to speak about. Everything we told you from beforehand has now all come true, come to pass now. And now, hey, they agreeing with us. We told you about the nukes. We had the signs the USSR signed. Oh, the USSR fell in like 91. That ain't around no more. But you see it coming back together, man. All right, the hooks is being put into the jaw, man. They're being brought back. You see, they about to go to war with the Cold War. It just got put on pause, right? They had a ceasefire. Now they about to resume fire. All right, it was just a gap of what, maybe 70 years in between. No, it wasn't even 70 years because in the 90s, well, you had like the end of World War II, but they was at war basically still together. It was a Cold War, information war. Kind of like what you have going on now, right? But, well, you got a warm war because you got proxies that's over there fighting right about now. But nevertheless, hey, man, they right back at it again, all right? You thought that Russia was down there. I can say for myself way back before I came into the truth and was starting to learn about some of this stuff. Yeah, Russia was not in the position to fight nobody. The economy was shit and everything else. But, hey, putting sanctions on Russia just boosted the economy, right? Got all these other nations dumping a dollar and investing in Russia. So you building them up, right? So now this prophecy is being fulfilled that the hooks is being put into their jaw. They're being brought forth. Them and all their army. They're the ones that's in the last. They as the world's militaries on the earth, the world's governments, right? They the government that then came out with the newest weaponry on the whole face of the earth, man. The fuck was the newest thing that America came out with, and that's controversial. You can say like drones and shit like that, but they didn't have drones beforehand. You've heard of airplanes with autopilot before, right? You know what I'm saying? You know, you got your car with cruise control and shit like that. Those are just, you know, variations of these things, man. You have heavy machinery that you can control with a remote control, man. All right, but yet and still, you know, you ain't really got nothing new. But Russia came out with a hypersonic missile, right? That's new. Nuclear powered cruise missiles, that's new. All right, you got the Satan 2 that be able to move inside the air, that's new. All right, so they're over here developing, man. They're over here being brought forth, them and all their army, and they're creating alliances in the middle of this here war where they're supposed to be demonized and fraternized with the propaganda and the news of how bad they are. Guess what? They're getting all these allies coming to their aid, and no, we want to fuck with you. Saudi Arabia, we don't want to fuck with America no more. We fucking with Russia now. Well, wait a minute. What's going on here? America's now, all their allies are now turning their backs on them, man. The beast shall hate the whore and burn her flesh with fire, man, and consume her. This is what you see happening, man. France and all of them is turning their backs on America as well, too, man. So all the things we've been telling you about is now all coming to pass as you see it right before your eyes. So look, man. Again, you know, you have, like I said, we was preaching amongst the brotherhood first, teaching other prophets. Then you had these world leaders saying the same thing that we saying. Now you have the rest of these heathen that's just walking around saying the same things that we saying. Hey, the sins now are reaching unto heaven, man. Now it's time to Revelation 18:4, man. All right, now it's time for her judgment to take place. All right, hey, your sins, hey, you too far gone, man. The haughty people of the earth do mourn. They calling you out now, man. The same niggas that was enjoying your running your rulership of all this here wickedness that you had going on, they tired of this shit now, man. Them people that was transforming, getting their bodies modified back in the days, now they saying this was the worst decision I ever made in my life, man. There was this dude, well, it was a woman who transformed into a dude. It was two of them, one of them off they self, all right, because they kept getting all these, they was just being mistreated. It wasn't that they was being mistreated, they was just being treated like a man. You know, it's not mistreating them because they was a man. It's just that women get different privileges than men do, right? And I'll break it down to it this way. It's like, yo, if I'm walking down the street and I'm trying to not to be late for something, like, yo, let's go, and you over here lollygagging, me and you the same age, you lollygagging looking at your phone, I'm like, bro, we trying to get over, come on, bro, hurry up, I'm gonna leave your ass. Come on, bro, I'm gonna leave your ass, and you over here just doing some shit. Oh, hold on, man, let me stop and do this, do that. Bro, come the fuck on, bro. Versus me walking with a 3-year-old and they just getting sidetracked. Oh, look up, roly-poly and everything. I'm gonna talk to the 3-year-old a little different. This is a little kid. Come on, man, we gotta go, man. We're gonna be late, man. Come on, let's go. Gotta talk to him a little different. They're not on the same level as an adult, man. So the same with, you know, like with these here women and things like that, man. But nevertheless, you know, some people, you know, hey, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and reach up there for you. I know you can't get it. I know you can't open it, so let me help you out with everything else like that. But, you know, just going into those things. Hey, man, you know, men are treated a little different. But you had this other woman who actually looked like a man and everything. Like, you couldn't even tell this was a pastor. Got the voice and everything, man. Over there crying, telling some, I ain't never been treated so bad in my life. I thought I was this and that. Yeah, but you've already done this now. Now you got to sit here and think about this shit for the rest of your life. Be plagued and tormented with these things, man. The devil sold you a false reality, a false dream, and now look at where you at. These OnlyFans girls, man. All these, I went and got the bag, this and that. Now they're in these million. There's this one girl, I don't know who the fuck she is, but there's a video of her, and she's filmed it herself saying about how she's got a birthday party or something coming up, and she was able to buy herself, like, you see her with these diamond Rolexes and all this stuff, cakes with money on it and everything else like that, and champagne, nice little area today in house, wherever she's at, man. All this here is nice, and she's like, yeah, but the sad part is I can't even, I called out to all my friends, and they all busy, they can't come over to celebrate my birthday. Like, yeah, you got all the money in the world to have a $1 million birthday party, but you don't got no real friends to come over to your real birthday party. You ain't even got a real man to just be, like, you so-called such a sexual, a sex symbol. You're so sexy to all these different people, a sex icon, but you can't even attract a man. Normally you would attract a man with your sex appeal, but guess what? Don't no man really want to claim you as a woman. So now you like, I want to do what I wanted to do. I wanted to go in and get into this here OnlyFans business and make as much money as I can to be happy and everything, but you way more miserable than when you was just a regular, average, basic bitch in the hood. At least you had Brad or Tyrone or whoever the fuck you was fucking in the hood that actually liked you for whoever your basic ass was. But now you got all this money, all this fame and everything else like that. Don't no man want to walk into the goddamn restaurant with you because they might, oh, that's the porn star girl right there. You know, your parents didn't disown you and everything. Your parents don't even want to come to your birthday party. I don't want to be seen with my daughter because, yeah, that she brought shame to my family and everything. So now these people are starting to realize, hey, man, you know, the son of perdition is being revealed, man. All this here wicked ass kingdom that we living in, it's all a facade, man. And it's all set up to lead us into death, man. So let's go back to 2 Thessalonians. It says 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. It says, who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Now, granted, like I said a little earlier, they got this new wayward ass doctrine about this here scenario. But regardless, we ain't even gonna entertain that bullshit. But anyway, this is Esau to a T, man, and the proof is in the pudding. Again, going back to Genesis, the Most High created everything and said it was good. Esau came back and remixed it all. Like, you hear about this AI that's coming out. What's the acronym for AI? Artificial intelligence. What does artificial mean? It's not real. It's fake. It's simulated. It's not the actual thing. Well, if it's not the actual thing, what is real intelligence? What is the real intelligence? It's you and your mind, your brain. You got the supercomputer. They trying to create supercomputers that can process multiple things at one time, but you got the ultimate supercomputer right here. You have the things that you're not in control of, like your heart beating, your blood being purified and everything else like that, your lungs, breathing and all. You're not in control of none of those things and nothing else like that. But then also, like I'm standing here, speaking to you, reading and processing and thinking, looking at my surroundings. I can hear certain things, sounds going on. I know what the hell. You hear a siren, I'm like, oh yeah, I can identify what that is. Not even breaking stride. You processing multiple things going on right now with this supercomputer, man. All at the exact same time. So, hey, you talk about some of these computers, if you was old like me, right? You remember back in the days on like Windows 95 and shit. You open up too many programs. Let's say you're trying to play like Oregon Trail or some shit, and you got the music playing, and then you open up another thing, and then your computer start crashing, and then you got to open up the command prompt thing, and then you got to start end task because you got too many tasks processing, and the processors are like 99%, and it's like, hey, bro, we can't process more than 3 applications at once, right? Nowadays you have computers that can process multiple things at one time. You see these cars, artificial intelligence and everything. Like the cars that's dropping itself, they got to be able to know the speed, what's going on beside them. You know what I'm saying? All this calculation is going on all at one point in time and everything else like that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, when you driving your car, you know about that. How much pressure you got to put on that gas pedal. How much distance you are from the car in front of you. The cars is going on around you. What's the condition of the weather outside like? What is the condition of your car? Your tires bald in your car? Okay, I know my tires a little bald. I can't be slanging and banging like that. I know my brakes is a little bad. I can't just be waiting till the last second to brake. You know what I'm saying? Hey, how many horsepower your car got? I know if I tap it, this motherfucker gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you a supercomputer, but Esau came back and remixed all these things, man. Gave you artificial intelligence, man. Gave you GMO food, man. Gave you all this here BS, man. Gave you new genders and things like that, man. All right, gave you everything that was opposite of what the Most High gave. So, hey, man, this is the one that's opposing to the Most High, man. Everything that the Most High did, he did the opposite. How they say the Antichrist, which is against the Hamashiach, or they say the word Christ, but against that's the opposite of that, man. We're reading over here about how he opposed it and exalted himself above all that is called God. So he's the antithesis. I can never pronounce that. He's the opposite of what the Most High would have set up for, man. But yet you're basking in this here kingdom of this here guy. You act like everything is all good with him, man. All right, but this is why we go forth to warn you about these things, to prophesy about these things, man, to reveal this here man unto you, because you don't want to be walking hand in hand with this here man until the very end. Like I was opening up saying about that pre-rapture tribulation doctrine, all right, or just believing on Jesus and calling on him to be your Lord and Savior in the last days on your deathbed. That just caused you to be blinded out here and just, all right, well, just live it up. And then whenever I get in some trouble, first of all, it ain't going to be no end, because we're going to be raptured up out of here before the end come anyway, so I don't really give a fuck how I live my life, man. But see, the damn devil will tell you some shit like that so you can just do as thou wilt. You just go ahead and sin, man. Hey, it's not going to happen in your lifetime anyway, man, so you ain't got to worry about this destruction. You're not going to catch the wrath of the Lamb, and that's going to come in generations on down the road, man. This is what Esau will be doing to you, man. All right, hey, the Most High telling you to get right before you get judged. Esau telling you what? Be relaxed. You're not going to get judged. Just chill, relax, have fun, live it up. Live after the flesh. The Most High say, hey, you can't live after the flesh, man. A lover of the flesh, roughly paraphrasing, is enmity against the Most High. Lovers of the world. All right, yeah, you got to be living after the Spirit, man. Doing things that's pleasing to the Spirit, man. All right, let's finish this off. About to get cut off here anyway, but 3 and 4 again. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right, and that's what Esau is doing. Hey, look, man, I'm about to bring out the neural link. I'm about to sit here and making the blind see again, the deaf to hear again, all right, the lame to walk again. My technology and my miracles is bringing all this here stuff. Look, we got satellites, so now we can talk like telepathically to people across the world now. You know, I'm about to put this here video up, and people from all around the whole world can hear and understand what I'm saying and everything else like that. And we can even translate it for you, man. All right, we can upload these things on the internet and everything. Hey, this is what Esau's doing, man. All right, and his way is by his left-hand means and things like that, man. I heard somebody talking about those things like opening up portals and all these different stuff. Like, yeah, but that's exactly what he's doing, but on the left-hand side, man, because it's not spiritual. He's using these devices to create all these things, man. Esau needs these devices to do all these things, whereas back in the olden days, you know, a lot of this stuff was just a spiritual, spiritual methods and things like that, man. But hey, like I said, with Esau, he took everything the Most High created that he said was good, and turned it all into something artificial or bad that he recreated. And so guess what you're gonna wind up doing? Oh, thank Elon Musk for creating Neuralink. My son can walk again. Oh, thank Bill Gates for whatever. My child can see again. You know, oh, thank the so-called white man for whatever he did because he did this and he did that for me, man. Now they playing God. It's not just one of them, but you can say, because at the end of the day, like, oh, the so-called white man wicked. Or you say he's wicked, but look at all the good he's done. He's giving us brain microchips to make the blind see again, the deaf to hear again, the lame to walk again, and all these things. See, he's trying to be the Most High with these false miracles and things like that. These people are in these positions for the reason of what? Their judgment that they had to get, man. All right? Or for the will of the Most High. All right? Ultimately, it's the will of the Most High, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, the Most High is in control of all this here stuff, so you don't go try to fix all these things, because just like with medicines, you go try to fix something with one medicine, there's something what they call a side effect, man. Now you try to, hey, I had a little runny nose, and I took this here medicine for the runny nose. Now my goddamn pancreas shut down, my liver shut down. You know, I'm having a leaky bladder. You know what I'm saying? I got diarrhea, dizziness, thoughts of depression and suicide and everything else like that. Like, damn, bruh. All because I had a runny nose. For all that, I could just blew my nose and we would have been all right. But now they took this and I got these side effects. But that's what Esau gives you on everything he has. Everything has a side effect, man. All right? Hey, but, you know, I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord, when the elect was edified with this here lesson. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakakudash. Double honor to the apostle and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for your Akim pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong and shalom.